How about the NBA? The Clippers and the Suns, the only game in the association tonight, should get some heavy, heavy betting. A 9 o'clock start between the Clippers and the Suns. Here's the key. Clippers expected to be without James Harden and without Kawhi Leonard tonight. The Suns are a favorite by 2.5, depending on where you're shopping at, and a total of 224.5, Joe. What's the spread line here for Clips Suns?
Well, we talked about Phoenix the other day, and we said, well, something's got to give. Phoenix is good. I think they're 3-1 at home, Donnie, but they have not won a game on the road yet. So they find themselves at home. This line yesterday was 5.5, but once we learned what the Clippers situation is going to be, we're looking at 2 now, right? 2.5 in the spot. Yeah, both these teams coming off losses here, but no Harden and no Kawhi. This is a big lift here for the Clippers on the road, but I think they get it done here, Danny. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I'll be on the Clippers here tonight.
Here's what I have the problem with, Joe. You have one game in the NBA tonight, and it's a 9 o'clock game. So if you want to tune in like, hey, man, at least the Clippers got some superstars, right? No. One is on a personal day where he doesn't want to play, and the other one's just out at this point. This is what the NBA regular season really gets me going for things like this. One game, and it seems like it could be unwatchable. Enough with the madness. Make me commissioner. I'll fix everything. Oh, NBA gambling here. Let's talk about that instead of the games. Why? Because you only got one game tonight, and it's not even going to have any superstars in it. Maybe Devin Booker shows up and saves the night here for the Phoenix Suns, because James Harden, he's not punching any clocks tonight, and neither is Kawhi Leonard. But also understand this. Big news came down across the sports landscape, Joe, that we like to keep the people updated on. ESPN Bet, no longer, as of December 1st, 2025, will be rebranded The Score. So a big market operator moving around and changing sponsors here, Joe.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's we've seen it, right? We've seen already a whole bunch of guys change hands over the time. And this is just the nature of the beast. Contract comes out. Somebody else willing to step in, that's it. So it's but they're not going away anytime soon. It's just going to be a different branding.
Yep, different branding here. And by the way, Shams Charania, a tweet from yesterday showed a United States Congressional Committee is meeting with NBA officials Wednesday in Washington, D.C. in the wake of indictments of Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones, sources tell ESPN. Now, granted, anytime you have some sort of a scandal, Congress wants to understand what the situation is. They'll ask questions. Nothing will come away with it. Somebody's going to take this politically and hijack the situation in the room. That's just what Congress does. But they are meeting tomorrow for the scandal. And the NBA is going to assure them this is a one-time thing, and it will never happen again.
Yeah, I don't even think it's Adam Silver going and talking. I think it's going to be a few other guys there associated with the NBA. But, I mean, listen, it's all right. They got to play along. Nothing like it whenever you get a congressional committee together, it's more about grandstanding than it is doing anything else, Donnie. It's a lot of eyeballs on that today.
On the court, or should I say off the court right now, Walker Kessler, we're in November. He's getting shoulder surgery. And they said, yeah, he's out for the remaining parts of the season, averaging 14 and 10 early here. He's not going to play the rest of the year.
And which is unfortunate because when he's been healthy, he's been a difference maker here. But unfortunately, this has been an ongoing thing with him in his career where, is he active? No, he's always on the injury report. He's never available, plays in less than half the games, and now he's going to miss, looks like, the rest of the season here.
By the way, in the NBA, shame on some teams that just don't understand what actually takes place in the past and try to relay that into the future. Donnie, what are you talking about? Shams Charania, a tweet yesterday. Oh, look at this. Pelican Zion Williamson is out at least 7 to 10 days with a left hamstring strain. When has this guy ever been healthy enough to do anything on the basketball court other than sign massive extensions and never play basketball? It's clear he doesn't take care of his body and doesn't care about the NBA or his organization. And it's the blatant most disrespect you can have. But if you're going to keep paying the guy, he's going to keep being out of shape. Case in point, another injury to Zion.
Shocker. And they won last night, Donnie. Go figure. They won last night without him, which is even more funny, actually. But say there's so much going wrong with the New Orleans Pelicans organization right now. Zion is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a mutiny going on in the locker room. Nobody likes the coach. They got to figure out what to do there, because the fire sale began with Brandon Ingram and everyone last year. Zion, unfortunately, is making so much money here. I think they're handcuffed to him. You made your bed, much like Memphis made it with Ja Morant. So good luck, New Orleans.
Yeah, they'll probably somehow be able to trade him to the Lakers for like a bench warmer. And like, oh, don't connect straight up for Zion, and then he'll suddenly get in shape, and away you go in LA. But it just doesn't work. Like, New Orleans is a franchise that I remember the party that specifically their sales team had the minute they got that number one pick. Oh my God, we are back. No, you're not back. You're out, because the guy never plays, and he's an albatross down there for a Pelican. How about two birds and one stone right there, Joe? Let's keep it moving in the NBA from last night. The T-Wolves and the Knicks. Well, thanks for playing, Minnesota. New York routs the Timberwolves. 137-114 here behind, 25 for OG Anunoby and 23 out of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, Minnesota, yeah, welcome back, Anthony Edwards, but it really didn't make a difference. The Knicks boat raced them there. They out-rebounded them. They basically out-hustled them every chance they got. Before they knew it, they were behind the eight ball, and that game was over in the first half, Donnie.
Spurs, Lakers, 118-116 last night. The Lakers pick up the dub at home, even without Austin Reeves. Go, Luka, go.
Luka's a machine. I think most points through 9 games or something along those lines that he's ever had. And it was impressive. It did come down to one final play there. And both teams had guys fouling out left and right, but the Lakers held on, which is all that matters.
Lakers pick up the victory here. We end hour number 1 and move it over to hour number 2. We're only getting started, and we'll be right back. Points. That's what I'm going to need tonight. It's only one NBA game, and I can't really do a public fade tonight because it doesn't really fit the agenda. You just need that 10-game slate. You can pick out a good fade. Last 2 nights have been fantastic with the public fades, but tonight I'm going to say to myself, all right, the Clippers are on the road. They're going to be down James Harden, and they're going to be down Kawhi Leonard. That means more shots available for the other starters. And if we have a total in the mid-220s, they're probably approaching 100-plus points in this basketball game, maybe 110, 115. I'm going with Ivica Zubac tonight over 17.5 points. Not because I love the guys. Last 2 games, 7 and 9 points. But also, if there's more shots available on the road, just give me Ivica Zubac. Approach that 20-point price marker and cash in a ticket tonight. Over 17.5 for me, Joe. 18 gets the chicken dinner tonight.
Get her done, Donnie. That's what I'm talking about here. Listen, no Harden, no Kawhi. They might actually, be pretty good, certainly from a point scoring perspective tonight.